It was one of those nights when the world felt frozen still. Snow covered everything like a thick white blanket, and the roads shimmered with ice under the streetlights. Inside his warm black SUV, Daniel Hayes, a 36-year-old CEO and single father, was just trying to make it home before the storm got worse. His daughter, Emily, was waiting for him with a cup of cocoa and her favorite bedtime story. But that night, Daniel's life, and someone else's, was about to change forever. Up ahead, through the swirling snow, he saw something that made him press the brakes. There was a woman, barely visible through the blizzard, standing by the side of the road. She was holding two tiny babies, wrapped in red blankets, shivering under the streetlight. Her hair was damp from the snow, and her eyes were filled with something between fear and exhaustion. Before we begin the story, take a moment to support our channel, Kindness Action. If stories about hope, compassion, and the power of good deeds touch your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world that kindness still matters. Now, let's get back to Daniel, and the night that changed everything. Daniel rolled down his window, and a blast of icy wind hit his face. "Ma'am. Are you okay?" he shouted through the storm. The woman turned slowly, clutching the babies closer. "My car, it died. The heat stopped working," she said, her voice trembling. "I was trying to get to the hospital. I'm a nurse. I just got off my shift. I didn't know where else to go." Daniel could see how pale she was, and how the babies' tiny faces were turning pink from the cold. Without a second thought, he opened the door and stepped out. Snow crunched under his polished shoes. "Come on. You can't stay out here," he said firmly. "Get in the car, all of you." She hesitated for a second. Maybe she didn't trust strangers easily, but desperation overruled fear. She got into the car, clutching her twins tightly. Daniel cranked up the heat and handed her his coat from the back seat. "Put this over them," he said. She nodded, whispering, "Thank you." "My name's Daniel," he said, offering a reassuring smile. "And you?" "Clara," she replied softly. "Clara Benson." As they drove through the storm, Daniel glanced at her through the rearview mirror. Clara looked exhausted, the kind of tiredness that comes from carrying more than physical weight. Her eyes were red, not just from the cold, but from tears she'd tried to hide. "Where were you headed?" he asked gently. She sighed. "Honestly, I don't even know anymore. I lost my apartment last week. My landlord sold the building. I've been staying at a friend's place, but she's out of town. I was going to a shelter, but I didn't make it before the storm hit." Daniel's heart tightened. He thought about his own daughter, safe and warm at home. He couldn't imagine being out here in this weather with a baby, let alone two. "Don't worry," he said. "You're safe now. We'll figure something out." When they reached the edge of town, Daniel made a quick decision. Instead of dropping her at a shelter, he drove her to his own home. It was a large, quiet house, too quiet, he often thought, filled with more rooms than he needed. "Come inside," he told her. "You and the babies can warm up. I'll call someone from my company's outreach team to help you find a place tomorrow." Clara's eyes filled with tears. "I can't accept that. You've already done enough." Daniel smiled gently. Kindness isn't about doing enough. It's about doing what you can. Inside, the fire flickered in the living room. Daniel handed Clara a cup of hot tea while Emily, his 8-year-old daughter, came downstairs in her pajamas, rubbing her eyes. "Daddy." "Who's that?" she asked. Daniel knelt beside her. "This is Clara. She's a nurse, and those are her babies. They needed a warm place tonight." Emily's face lit up. "Can I help? I can show them my baby blankets." Clara smiled for the first time that night. "That would be lovely," she said softly. The hours passed, and warmth slowly returned, not just to their hands and faces, but to their hearts. Clara told Daniel about her life as a nurse, about losing her husband in an accident the year before, and how she'd been trying to stay strong for her twins. Daniel listened quietly. He knew what loss felt like. His wife had passed away when Emily was 2. For the first time in years, he felt a connection with someone who understood the same kind of pain. By morning, the snow had stopped, and sunlight poured through the windows. Clara woke up to the smell of pancakes and laughter. Emily was feeding one of the babies, carefully holding the bottle like a big sister. Daniel looked at them all around the breakfast table and smiled. The house didn't feel empty anymore. Over the next few weeks, Daniel helped Clara get back on her feet. He arranged a position for her at a local clinic his company sponsored. She moved into a small apartment nearby, and Emily would visit her and the twins almost every day after school. What began as a chance encounter in a snowstorm turned into something none of them expected, a family built not by blood, but by kindness. Clara often told people, "He didn't just save my babies that night. He saved my hope." And Daniel, whenever he was asked why he stopped that night, would always say, "Because kindness doesn't check the weather before it shows up." Months later, as spring replaced the snow, Daniel and Clara stood together in the park, watching their children play. The twins giggled as Emily chased them through the grass. The air was warm, the world alive again, proof that even the coldest nights can give birth to the brightest mornings. Kindness doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes, it's just one person deciding to stop, to care, to listen. One simple act can ripple through lives in ways we can't imagine. So next time you see someone struggling, even if it's inconvenient, even if it's uncomfortable, choose kindness. You never know how deeply it might change a life, including your own. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's keep spreading love and compassion, one story at a time. This is Kindness Action, reminding you, every act of kindness is a spark that can warm the world.